What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about if you should go to the mission field. Ooh, that's good coffee. So maybe you've been on a short-term trip just recently, or you've been on one in the past, and you feel like God's giving you this call to pursue long-term missions in the future. First off, that's awesome. Congratulations. It's a super amazing call to have. But today I'm talking about 3 things to consider before actually leaving for the mission field. Sorry about that last shot. Got a little overexposed on the camera. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? Bien. Perfecto. ¿Qué hora? Sí, un momento. So today I'm actually over here in this other town called Busturias. It's like, I don't know, 25-30 minute drive just north where we live in Varita. It's a small town that I like to come out to and paddle. Actually out at this beach this past weekend, paddling with one of my friends I met here at a coffee shop. And unfortunately, when we got back to the beach, he left his sandals, and I didn't know he actually left his phone also with his sandals. And so by the time we got back here to the beach, it was gone. Someone had stolen it. So super unfortunate, but I'm actually here again today to visit with my friend in the coffee shop to catch up with him. Hopefully he's got his phone situation figured out and just kind of see when we can hang out again. All right, find somewhat of a shady spot to sit here, talk about this first point with you guys. This looks decent enough. Kind of nasty, but. Oh. See this exposed here. It's a little better. I'm gonna hug this rock here to stay out of this hot sun. So the first thing to kind of consider before actually going to the mission field is, are you already mission minded where you currently live? Even from our personal experience, like if you're not already missionally focused in your hometown, how can you expect to be missionally focused in somewhere else in the world? Because at the end of the day, the concepts are still the same. You want to be missionally minded, focusing on reaching out to your community of people to share the gospel with them. And that goes for whether you're in the States or whether you're abroad. For us here in Mexico, it's the same concepts. Because when you enter into a new culture, into a new lifestyle, it's going to be that much harder to be motivated to be sharing the gospel because of fears, because of insecurities, and because of cultural differences that you're not used to. And so if you are not already super pumped to share the gospel with people in the States, you're gonna have a hard time doing that in another culture that is not your own. So make sure you're super pumped to be missionally focused where you're currently living. Next point is, do you already love sharing the gospel with people back in your own home and culture? Sarah and I were talking about this last night in our podcast, just how hard it was when we first came to Mexico to share our faith freely with people in this language of Spanish. And so you want to make sure you're super comfortable sharing your faith and super pumped about sharing your faith with people in your own culture. Because once you can conquer this, you can take the next step, go into a new culture, learn a new language, and continue sharing your faith over there. Especially down here in the downtown square of Busturias, and back there we just walked through a bunch of their tianguis. Just kind of open door farmers market, but this one's mostly for like jewelry, clothes, and things like that. Always fun to walk through though and see what they have, even though every time you're gonna get heckled for coming to buy things, but you're just trying to do their job, treat them friendly, and it's always a good time. Oh, it's starting to get super hot, so I had to find some shade to come down and sit down here to get a break from the stinking hot sun. Anyways, the last point I have for you guys today is to make sure you're super involved or already faithfully involved in the church back in your home. And it's so important to know that you have a home church supporting you in what you do overseas, and they help equip you for preparing for that next stage of your life going overseas. So it's super vital to make sure you're faithfully involved in helping your local church out in their ministries and helping yourself grow in ways that are going to prepare you for the mission field overseas. Because when you get overseas, you might not have a church to be a part of for quite some time. You could be a church planter, or you could be going overseas and having a church to be involved with. But either way, you're starting a new family overseas with a body of believers. And so it's so vital to make sure you have the home church supporting you back at home, knowing that they're praying for you, that they care for you, and even sometimes supporting you. There's a vital role in missions in making sure that you have a healthy home church life before you leave for the mission field. So that's all I got for you guys today. It's hot, so I'm gonna go sit down and try to meet my friend in the coffee shop and catch up with him. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you got some tips to apply to your life, and so catch you guys in the next one.